Hey everyone, it's Lynette, and it has been a minute since my last video, but it's just been crazy around here, and I've been buying books like there's no tomorrow, like they're going out of style. I have so many books for this book haul, so let's jump right in. First stack of books I've bought on just random websites like Amazon, Books A Million. The first two I bought is a series. I don't know if it's a duology or if there's going to be more, but that is The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. This series sounds amazing. I have talked about this before in a couple other videos, but I think I'm going to read these next, so I will talk about them more in my February TBR, which should have already dropped. If it has, I will leave it in the description box below. The next two are also a series. Again, I don't know if it's a duology or if there's going to be more because I haven't read them yet. And actually, I don't know too much about these other than they have amazing covers and I just had to have them on my shelf. And that is Passenger and Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. These covers are so cool. All I know is that it's about this epic journey across the sea. There's some kind of time travel involved. I don't know. That's all I need to know that these sound really, really good. The next one I got on Amazon, and it is the first of a few that I'm going to buy, and Josh makes fun of me for wanting these because it's the same copy of the same book, just different covers. And that is the Slytherin edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is so cool. The pages are green. The reason I want all the house editions is because there's some additional information about the house. There's like house relics, the house ghost, and there's an introduction to the house. There's some pictures in here. There's a map of Hogwarts. It's just such a cool edition. So I have to have all four of them, but of course I had to start with my house, which is Slytherin. The next one I'm super excited about, and I may talk more about it in my February TBR as well, because I think I'm going to start it this month after I finish up what I'm currently reading, and that is Zenith by Sasha and Lindsay, who are two booktubers, and their channels are amazing. I have really high expectations for this book. The cover is beautiful. I'm just really into spacey things right now because I just finished rereading Illuminae and Gemina to prepare myself for the upcoming release of Obsidio next month. So I'm just like really in that space adventure like frame of mind right now. So I think I might pick this up this month, and I will surely write a review about it so you can hear all my thoughts. The next few books I got at Books A Million. So the first one is a book that I've already read, but I had to have it on my shelf, and I had to have this edition of it because it's gorgeous. And that is this beautiful specimen of the Red Queen. The pages are red. I mean, it is gorgeous. It's insanely pretty. Oh, I didn't even look at it naked. Let's take a peek. Oh, look, it's like matte and shiny, and it says Red Queen, and there's like the blood dripping down. Oh, I love this. I love this edition so much. The next book is a new release. I believe it came out last month or the beginning of this month, but I had to have it, and that is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This sounds like such a great mystery. It's about this cold case from like 1936 about this couple who disappeared at some kind of academy, this private academy school in Vermont. And years later, this person that's passionate about true crime and old cases and things goes to begin her first year at this academy, and she is determined that she's going to solve this cold case. There's only one clue, and it was signed with this frightening thing called Truly Devious. So this sounds so good. It sounds like such a good mystery. And the final book I got at Books A Million was in the bargain section, and I had seen this before, and I don't know too much about it, but I remember seeing it when it was like first released. I picked up These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. Like I said, I don't know too much about this, other than the cover is really creepy and has a really creepy title. So if you have read this, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comment section below. The next set of books I got on bookoutlet.com, which is a fantastic website to get discounted hardcovers and they were all like $3 to $5 to $7. I mean, they were all at least under 10, and I thought that was a great deal. I got several books for like $30. The first book I got at Book Outlet is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. Again, I've heard so many good things about this on BookTube and Goodreads, and when I saw that it was on sale on Book Outlet, I had to pick it up because I have to know what all the hype is about. The second book I picked up at Book Outlet is The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. This is the second book in the Charlotte Holmes trilogy, I think. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or if there's going to be more, but this is the second book. The first book is A Study in Charlotte, and I've talked about A Study in Charlotte a lot. It's about Charlotte Holmes and Jamie Watson, who are the great-great-great-grandchildren of Sherlock Holmes and his counterpart, Dr. Watson. They go to the same private school. At first they didn't like each other, but then this crime forces them to pair up and try to solve it because they're both being framed for this crime. Thus the pairing of Charlotte and Jamie comes to life. So this just continues the story. Again, I haven't read anything about it because I don't want anything to spoil it for me, but this is one that I will be picking up this month to read because A Case for Jamie, which is the third book, I believe comes out next month, so I want to be all ready for its release. The next two I think is a duology, if I'm not mistaken. The first one I got on Book Outlet and the second one just came out on February 6th, so I pre-ordered it on Amazon and it came in that day. But that is Winter Song and Shadow Song by S.J. Jones. These were hauntingly beautiful. I just finished Shadow Song the other day. I have a full review up on my blog, novelsandhops.com. But do yourself a favor before you read these books and watch the movie The Labyrinth from the 80s. It's so cheesy, but it's so beautiful in a way too. It has David Bowie in it. He's fantastic, but it's about the Goblin King, and he steals this girl's sibling, and she has to go to the Goblin Castle to retrieve her sibling, and she has to go through this big labyrinth to get there. It's just a really cool movie, but that's basically the same premise of Winter Song. Winter Song takes it so much farther. Only like the first couple parts are the same as The Labyrinth, but this is such a interesting take. I wouldn't call it fan fiction, and I wouldn't call it a retelling. It's just a beautiful homage to The Labyrinth, whether intentional or not. I don't know if that was the author's intention, but it's such a cool telling of this story. The next book I got at Book Outlet, again, I had already read it, but the cover is gorgeous, and I just wanted it for my shelf, and that is The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee. This is such a neat, futuristic type of story. It's not dystopian. It's just futuristic. There's a lot of different technology, but it takes place in this tower. And this tower is like bigger than anything that you can wrap your mind around right now. It's like whole city blocks are in this tower. Like, and the base is just really big, and then it gets smaller as you get to the 1000th floor. And basically everybody in futuristic Manhattan live in this tower. The very poor people live at the bottom, and of course the higher you get, the richer the people get. So this is about people all through the tower, but mainly it's about what takes place on the 1000th floor. It's a great mystery. It's like Pretty Little Liars meets Gossip Girl in the future, if that makes any sense. This next book is the third in a trilogy that's sort of an older trilogy, but I had the first two and I just had to get the third one to complete it. I haven't finished the second one yet. I put it down a long time ago, and it's not because it's a bad series. It's just I think you have to be in the right state of mind to read it. It is a dystopian, so it is sort of a downer, and a lot of stuff happens. It's just like, it's kind of exhausting to read almost. But that is the Dustlands trilogy, and this is the third one called Raging Star. The first one's called Blood Red Road, the second one is called Rebel Heart, and this one is Raging Star. It takes place in this wasteland almost that I think used to be America, but things are so far gone that people don't even like speak correct English anymore. Like, they speak a very broken English, and that's the reason I put this series down before too, because everything in it takes a while to read. Everything is sort of spelled phonetically. Even when the main character isn't having any dialogue, she's still speaking in this broken sort of English. So it does take an adjustment to get used to that style of writing, but once you do, it's a very fun read. Like I said, it is sort of exhausting because all these books have this long journey, and you just have to be in the right state of mind to read it. But it's a really great series if you're into dystopian type things. And the last thing I got on Book Outlet is Wink Poppy Midnight. I just think this cover is so pretty, and I've heard mixed reviews about this, so I'm kind of nervous for it, but it has a lot of great authors on the back give blurbs about how great it is, so that kind of gives me hope that it's going to be okay. But there's not a lot of detail on this book about what it's about. The inside cover says, every story needs a hero, every story needs a villain, every story needs a secret. Wink Poppy Midnight. 2 girls, 1 boy, 1 summer, 1 bad thing. What really happened? Someone knows and someone is lying. So this sounds really, really, really good. And it's not very long. I was kind of surprised that it's only like a little over 200 pages long. So I think it's going to be a quick read, and it sounds really fun. So I'm excited to pick this up. Now, the rest of the books I got on thriftbooks.com. And if you're not familiar with how ThriftBooks works, it's sort of how half.com used to work when half.com was a thing. Basically, you find a book that you want, you pick whether you want it in paperback or hardback, and various sellers have different types of copies. So if you don't care what your book looks like, you just want that book in your collection, then you might not pick the one that says like new or very good or something like that. There's like acceptable, there's worn, there's like different categories like that. But it will tell you what's wrong with it. Like, it used to be a library edition, or it's missing its dust jacket, or things like that. It has a couple scuffs on it. For whatever reason, they're basically just used books. I mean, thriftbooks.com, it tells you right there. But these are books that you might not care what they look like. You just love them so much and you want them in your collection. So that's what I did. I had read, like, The Hunger Games, for example, is the first one. I got the whole trilogy for like $12. But I had read these when I worked at the bookstore, and I borrowed them from the bookstore, so I didn't physically own them, but it's one of my favorite series, so I just wanted to have them on my shelf. So, for example, these are all hardcovers, and they're in pretty good condition. There's a few, scuffs and dings and things like that on them because they're pre-owned, but I think all of these were in the category like new or very good. So you could see, at the top, there's a little bit of shelf wear and things like that. But other than that, I was very impressed with the quality of these books. Now, the other series that I got, I said before, I love Harry Potter, but all of my Harry Potter books got destroyed when my parents' basement flooded, and I only have the 7th book in the whole series. And it's just a series that I just want to own, and I don't really care exactly what it looks like. So I got the books that I was missing. I'm still, a few are still coming in. Goblet of Fire and Order of Phoenix still have yet to come in. But, like, for example, this is the second one. I accidentally ordered it in paperback and not hardback. But still, the quality is not bad. It's a little worn, but it's an older book, you know what I mean? So, and it's like $1 or $3 or something like that, so you can't really beat the price if you just want the book. But for example, this one is the first one, and it's missing its dust jacket. Oh well, big deal. I have like 5 different editions of the first copy, so I'm okay that it's missing its dust jacket. And there's like a little bit of writing and stuff at the top. But if things like that don't bother you, then Thrift Books is a good place to get books. Like I said, the rest of my Thrift Books order is not in because they come from different sellers. They don't come all at once like it would at Book Outlet or another website like that. So they sort of come in waves. I'm still waiting on the 4th and 5th Harry Potter book, and I ordered a hardback edition of Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which is a great adult novel if you are looking to read more adult type fiction. I also ordered The Martian, which if you saw the movie with Matt Damon, you know it's a fantastic movie, but I've heard a lot of people say on BookTube that the book is fantastic and one of the funniest books that they've ever read. So I loved the movie and I love Matt Damon, and so I just thought I would read the book because it sounded really good. I didn't even know it was a book when I went to see the movie. So that is it for my massive book haul. Those websites again, in case you want to go check out books and see what kind of prices you can get on books that you just want in your collection. The first one is Book Outlet. These are all really top quality. They're just, sale books or leftover books or whatever from stores, but all the books I've got at Book Outlet are really, really nice. They might have like a black mark on the binding just because they were marked as sale books. The other one is thriftbooks.com, and that is a place if you just don't really care what the book looks like, you just want to pay like $1 or something for the book. It's like a book yard sale pretty much. So any book that you don't have in your collection, or if you want to finish a series that you don't already own, it's a great way to like sort of replenish your bookshelf of things that you really want to own. That is it for this video, and I thank you so much for watching. I promise it won't be so long in between my next video, but I will see you next time. Bye guys.